This is the Always Up podcast, the blueprint for builders starting from scratch. Again, I'm Brian B. Turner, and this isn't just a podcast. It's the rebuild in real time. What's working, what's breaking, and the mindset that keeps me moving. Always up. For me, Man's Search for Meaning was that book. Viktor Frankl said, when we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. That line never left me. I didn't fully get it back then, but Florida would teach me, because at first, I thought I had it all lined up. Palm trees, family, the comeback story. For a minute, I felt like I was Florida man. Only instead of gators and headlines, I had a franchise license and a fresh start. The callback was my redemption. The victory lap I'd been waiting on, and for a while it felt like I was winning. But what I didn't see was that the very thing I called safe was actually the wrong bet. On the surface, it still looked like progress. The lease was signed, the paperwork was moving, the team was starting to form. But underneath, the cracks were showing fast. The license wasn't just one approval, it was layer after layer. State, county, city, each one slower than the last. Every time I thought I was done, another hurdle showed up. The money? It bled out quicker than I'd planned. The state required an RN on staff, and that was the most expensive hire. I went through 3 of them. They knew they were in demand, and they acted like it. At one point, I knew more about the city licensing office than I did about my kid's school calendar. That's how deep in the weeds I was. And when the costs piled up, I tried to get a loan to buy some breathing room. But banks don't give much weight to expansion. They don't see the vision, just the risk. So I dug into savings. I'd built up equity in my home, but the bank wouldn't even let me tap into my own money. It was like standing outside your own house while someone else holds the keys. Bills stacked higher than the license paperwork. Every delay, every restart, every extra invoice, it was adding up. The disaster was starting to unfold. But in the middle of it, I kept telling myself this was just the cost of building. That once the license is cleared, once the right RN stuck, I'd be back on track. When the money ran thin, I did the one thing I swore I wouldn't do. I asked to borrow. For me, that was pride swallowing whole. 17 years in this business, 2 states on my resume, and now I'm asking for help like I just started yesterday. I told myself it was temporary, a bridge, just enough to hold things together until the license is cleared. But the truth was, I was already slipping, and then came the freeze. Not a call, not a letter. I logged into my online banking, expecting to move money around like always. Instead, everything was locked. Accounts frozen, cash flow stopped, payroll due in a few days, staff waiting on checks, and not a single dollar moving. It felt like the whole machine seized up at once, like being on the highway doing 70, and suddenly the engine just dies. No warning, no shoulder to pull over to, just silence, cars flying past, and you gripping the wheel, hoping not to crash. That was the moment I knew this wasn't just a rough patch. This was the wrong bet. When the freeze hit, I thought it was the end. Payroll frozen, accounts locked, me staring at a screen that didn't care about my history or my hustle. I was ready to turn in the keys. 17 years of building, and I was about to walk away like it had all been for nothing. And honestly, I felt embarrassed. Embarrassed that after all the offices I'd run, all the wins I'd stacked, I was the one stuck here refreshing my account, hoping the numbers would magically change. And yes, I refreshed it 5 times, like maybe PNC was just playing with me. But the numbers never moved. Here's the thing though. Sometimes the moment that breaks you is the same moment that saves you. Because in that silence, I finally had to admit it. Florida wasn't my redemption. It wasn't my fresh start. It was me playing it safe again, chasing consistency instead of possibility. And safe had already betrayed me once. It was time to stop betting on comfort and start betting on myself. That freeze forced a reset. The rebuild started right there. Not in the offices I ran, but in the mindset I carried. I didn't know exactly what the next chapter would look like, but I knew this much. I wasn't going back to the old playbook. Not again. Thanks for listening to Always Up. If this episode hit, share it with someone rebuilding their life or business. You can find my books, tools, and more at heybbt.com or at Brian B. Turner on Linktree. And remember, no matter what, keep building. Always up.